he's pretty mentally weak in the ring. You know, as soon as things don't start going his way,
Yeah.
he starts to crumble, and things aren't going to go his way. So I think he's going to rumble.
Yeah.
Jake Paul reacts with shock as Gervonta Davis's intense sparring clips surface. Jake says it excites him when people criticize or doubt him because it makes every fight more thrilling. He adds that he's still training hard and staying focused. Jake confidently states that he wanted to fight Tank for a long time, and now that it's happening, he truly believes he can beat him.
Stand on business and say the other person's gonna win. I like it.
So when it
makes it fun.
When he lay your boy out, you know what I mean?
He's my boy too. I love Mike.
I mean, Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing exactly at which moment.
Showbiz the Adult reacts strongly to the claims made by critics who think Gervonta Davis accepted the fight with Jake Paul purely for money. He points out that the situation is much more layered than people assume. Jake himself mentioned that the fight contract includes a special knockout bonus, which changes the entire motivation behind this bout. If a huge bonus is attached to the knockout, it means Tank will go all out and never risk being the one on the canvas. The fight becomes more than just about pride. It becomes a contest with both money and legacy on the line. Showbiz explains that people are missing the psychological part of it. Tank is a prideful fighter, and the idea of getting knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer is unthinkable to him. So when critics call it a payday grab, they ignore the fact that there's a competitive fire behind it. He believes Tank's reputation means more to him than any check, and Jake's comments about the knockout bonus might have only made the fight more personal and intense.
You guys told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're going to get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million. Let's make it two.
Shake on it? Yeah. Shake on it?
Shake $1 million.
$2 mil? $2 mil? $2 mil. Let's do it. $2 mil. Go get it, shake.
Oh, they're shaking left here.
$2 mil. There we go.
Oh my fuck.
Why not get the entire bag? Whenever I got good food on my plate, I clean the plate. There is no reason to bull jive. Hold on. Because I'm gonna play some Marvel Rivals. Let me get all this together. I'm gonna be playing some Marvel Rivals later. Hold on, let me get my blind. Cause no cream. And yes, no cream. Because I'm fired up today. I got on the scale today and I'm 209 pounds, okay? You guys know that I'm on the fitness journey. I'm showing you guys my video journal. And I started at 217 pounds when I started all this 12 days ago. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing faint abs. Hold on, the faint abs. Woo! The faint abs! The faint abs! The faint abs! I'm telling you, it'll be back. I will be back. I want my Terminator shit. And when I'm done, I'm going to tell you guys my secret and exactly how I did it. I'm talking about step by step, everything. I'm going to be in great shape like I was. When I turned 45 and all the gray in the beard, I was just like, it ain't over, bro. It ain't over. Hold on. Let me. Ooh. Dr. Doom. Okay. All right. But listen. A lot of you guys calling this a fake fight and all this shit. I'm going to quote one of you in the war room. I forgot, one of my show business partners said, was it Justin Hill? I forgot who it was. You guys you said something like, and if I misquote you, I'm sorry, but it was dope. You said something like, if this is a fake fight, it definitely has real consequences. I keep telling you guys, man, if it goes on their real record or not, whatever it is, you know what you saw. It's just like Ryan Garcia versus Devin the American Dream Haney. Devin Haney is still undefeated, but we know what we saw. You cannot erase what we saw. If Jake Paul knocks out Tank Davis, there's some real circumstances. The shit goes viral, and I'm going to lose $10,000. Jake Paul isn't just going to win in this exhibition. but he's also going to get a knockout bonus and an extra $2 million.
Robert Garcia approaches the situation with a veteran's point of view. He says there's technically nothing wrong with Tank taking this fight with Jake Paul. It's his career and his decision, but it's the timing that feels wrong. Garcia argues that fighters like Mayweather, Tyson, and Pacquiao turned to exhibition matches only after they had proven themselves with major titles and legacies already in the bag. Tank, on the other hand, hasn't reached that point yet. He still owes fans the big fights that define greatness, the kind that silence critics and make history. According to Garcia, the frustration isn't about the fight itself. It's about what it represents. Instead of solidifying his boxing career with tough competition like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, Tank chose an exhibition-style clash with Jake Paul. To Garcia, that looks like skipping a chapter. He insists that Tank is talented enough to earn legacy-based respect, but taking shortcuts through flashy events could hurt his reputation. In his eyes, this fight feels premature, a showy distraction instead of a step toward greatness.
They stopped the contest before something like that, but I don't know. What's your just take on the whole thing?
I'm not very interested. That doesn't excite me. I know it's going to do really good numbers. I know they're making a lot of money, which is good for them, good for Tank, because in boxing that's what everybody looks for. I think is, you know, the good thing is they announced it as an exhibition, which is, I'm okay with it. You know, everybody does it. Mayweather has done it. Ali did it. You know, the only thing, my personal opinion is Tank, you know, they all did it when they had already accomplished so much. They already did so much. Mayweather did everything in boxing and accomplished everything. Muhammad Ali did the same, and many others that have done it. I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Roach that rematch, which he should have. You know, Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat them clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked. I would do the same.
No one would say no to that. Right?
If I had one of my fighters get an offer to fight a big celebrity, a big YouTuber for $20-30 million, I would probably do the same. So I don't blame him. You know, it's boxing. At the end of his career, 20 years from now, nobody's gonna care how many belts he won or who he fought.
Bernie Thaw Boxer gives a very blunt take on the situation. He mocks those who say they're happy for Tank making money, calling them out for missing the real issue. Tank isn't struggling financially. He's one of the highest paid fighters of his generation. Fans don't care about his bank account. They care about competition. Bernie argues that fans follow boxing for excitement, for skill, and for great rivalries, not to celebrate how much a fighter earns. He goes on to say that the true storyline fans are interested in is what happens in the real ring, especially if Lamont Roach manages to beat Isaac Pitbull Cruz. That result would mean something because Pitbull is considered Tank's toughest opponent. If Roach beats him, it raises questions about Tank's performance and the real hierarchy among fighters. Bernie insists that Tank needs meaningful fights to stay respected in boxing. Money fights like this one against Jake might pay bills, but they don't add to legacy. And for real boxing fans, that's what counts most.
A rematch with Tank, and it's I kind of don't really care about the fight no more. It's starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, I mean, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? I mean, don't you think that people would want to see, you know, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, you know, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
You know, I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. You know, they don't want to leave it unfinished, and that's what the intrigue is. They want to people want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight, and it doesn't make no sense why they taking so fucking a fight. You know, everybody keeps saying that, Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money? Is we bidding out for the fucking money? Is he gonna give us some of the money? Are we waiting on him to feed us any bit? No. I want what I want. Fuck that. I'm selfish. I'm a fan. I want to see the fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking circus. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody saying, oh, he back, who gives a fuck? I hope he already rich as fuck. He already won 30 million in the last fight or something. He got more money than I'm ever gonna have. I don't give a fuck. I want to see the fights. I'm a fucking boxing fan. I want to see a fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking farce. Fuck. Motherfucker count another motherfucker pockets. They all getting paid. These motherfuckers getting paid millions. Boy, we making how much? 60,000, 40,000 every motherfucking day. Going to work 9 hours a day and shit, and then coming home waiting on income tax and shit like that to get some big bread. Come on, man. I'm talking about the average person.
Lamont Roach speaks carefully but firmly about the controversy surrounding the Jake Paul fight. He makes it clear that he doesn't mind Tank taking the match itself because any fighter would be tempted by such a big opportunity, but he criticizes the way it was done. Roach reveals that there was a rematch clause in his own contract with Tank, yet Tank went silent and signed to fight Jake instead, without any communication. For Roach, that's a breach of business ethics and respect between fighters. He admits he would have done the same in Tank's position, but only if everything had been handled professionally. What bothers him is not the fight, it's the lack of transparency. Boxing is supposed to be a sport built on mutual respect, and when one fighter skips obligations just to chase a spectacle, it damages that principle. Roach believes this move might benefit Tank financially, but it leaves a bad taste among those who value fairness in the game. He views it as a missed chance to do things the right way.
Made right for not executing that rematch. Is it safe to say that there was some money given to you because of that?
Money given to me, not necessarily, but you know, like I said, those guys took good care of me. Those guys on the other side took care of me. Not him personally and not his team personally, but you know.
But somebody made it right for that rematch not happening.
Kinda, you could say that.
Kinda. I understand. I don't understand the position you're in, but from the outside looking in, you had a phenomenal performance against arguably one of the best fighters, you know, top 10 pound for pound fighters in Tank, which many didn't believe it would happen. So you want the opportunity to get back and you know, I guess get the victory. But can you really, honestly, putting yourself in Tank's shoes, be upset with taking advantage of the opportunity to fight Jake Paul? Reportedly, there's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know this to be, you know, accurate, but I'm saying those are the reports, right? If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know that he actually exercised his rights to the rematch, so that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on and or swindle around and fight.